Hello, I'm Org, and this time I have two games for you in the UE57. Well, you can see me getting bullied a bit here with the DW2. It happens a lot in the UE57 since it's... I'm pretty sure it is actually the smallest tank in the game in terms of size. So you get people trying to bully it a bit, but no harm was done. But anyway, two games in the UE57. Tier 3 French tank destroyer. I kind of have mixed feelings about this tank. I think it's not very good, but it's very easy to have good games in, if that makes sense. And well, these two games I'm showing you in this one, they're both Ace Tank Mastery Badge worthy games. They're in the top 1% of results. But they are two very different games. So we see this one's an encounter on El Halouf. And we've had that DW2 that was bullying me a bit and a Japanese tank have gone into the cap to try and win that way. And I'm just chilling out in this bush, covering them a bit. First I thought this was going to be kind of a useless position, but it turns out it was the right spot to be in. See, there's lots of engaging happening up on top of the hill. But we've got some heavies coming up, so we should do alright there since the enemy doesn't really have anything too scary up there yet. Oh no, a KV-1 just popped up. That might be difficult. But it's not really my concern, as the Chi-He down there takes a big hit from something. And then there's been a bunch of enemy tank shot at AMX-38 and a BDR-G1B. I put one in the AMX-38. Second shot bounces. BDR bounces off the upper hull. That one goes through. And there's also a D2 rushing the cap. So it's like a French tank assault here. I'm kind of playing poorly, spreading my fire around between them. But I'm doing the damage output, and I think that's the main thing. AMX-38's dead. D2's almost dead. I get my first kill. Try and fire down the BDR, but it's going to take at least one more shot. Probably two more, to be honest, if they both penetrate. Yep, one more shot and the BDR's gone. It's just the VK left, but all my friendly tanks in the cap have died. Fortunately, this guy doesn't have much armour. And also, fortunately, it didn't keep reversing. It's now started driving forward, where I can just keep shooting away at it. I managed to track it in the open with its back to me. So of course my next shot bounces. One more shot should do it. And there's my second kill. So... yeah, that was a very quick engagement, but how many were there? 4 enemy tanks there and they're all dead. And this thing, it's really just a machine gun. It's got the DPM, it only does 70 or 80 odd damage per shot, but you saw how quick it reloads and how quickly I can fire and how quickly it aims. So in that kind of situation where the enemy are just kind of charging straight at you and they obviously haven't spotted you, it's a pretty good tank to be in. I mean, you also saw the limitations of it in that it's got a very narrow gun traverse, so I had to kind of move my hull a couple of times in that engagement. And the other big limitation of it is that it's got very poor gun depression, which you can kind of see here when I'm coming up to get this M4. But my gun's still pointing up in the air, still pointing up in the air. Come around the corner. And well, it died before I got there. But yeah, I think this tank, from memory, is only about 2 degrees of gun depression. Now I park up here, figuring I'd cover the cap again. But I see the Stuart's kind of pushing up, so I figured I'd go down with it. I didn't have a shot in that Panzer IV-H anyway. Now I come sit here figuring when the Panzer IV-H comes around to kill the Stuart, I'll be able to put some shots into it. And of course it's the only tank left on the enemy team, so we've won this one pretty well. Sit in the bush, wait for it to come round. And it's pulled right back, so I'm starting to think it's probably going to go around the other way. but you're never quite sure. But no, it looks like I was right, it was going to go around the other way. But our Churchill scares it off. So I'm not going to get any shots on this guy, I don't think. But I'll just sit in the cap and get a few cap points. Yep, they're rushing it. And the guy's dead. So well, that was a good game. I suppose all I did was really gun down those 4 or so enemy tanks, but I still did my contribution, and that was enough to give me my Ace Tanker badge and a High Caliber medal. With only 709 damage. So that's a bit odd, but I got it. And this next game's kind of a bit different. It's on mines. And I initially went up here thinking I'd cover the island, off to the left of the screen here. But no one's gone that way, so I'm kind of not doing anything. So I was thinking of pulling back to try and get a better location to shoot up at the hill, which is where the combat's obviously happening. And I've got a tiny shot in this T14 here. I decided to take it, and I know I've got no hope of penetrating the turret of that thing at this range. And I decided I'm going to go around the other side of this hill, but I see a Sherman, or an M4 I should say. So I stopped to put some shots into it. And by shots I mean one, because my second shot here hits the rock. And so I go around to the right hand side of the rock, figuring the T40 will keep covering the left. But it decides to follow me. Which means that I basically drive over here, stop to see if I have any shots on anything. Which I'm pretty sure I don't. And now I turn around and drive back to where we are because, well, we know there's an M4 on that island, so we probably should have something covering it. And if you look on the minimap, you'll see we've got a friendly Panzer IV-H pushing over in that direction. So it would be good to have that guy with a bit of fire support. And the Panzer IC on our team's finally started to move up a bit. So I'm kind of expecting the M4 to pop up sometime soon. I'm just moving to a location where I'm going to have a better line of fire onto the island. Still don't have any shots into the hill, and it looks like the M4's pulled right back. Yeah, our guys are well in control of the island now, so I'm moving forward. And there's the M4, it's right on the other side of the island, so I'm not going to have any shots unless I move up a bit. I've got a tiny shot at the M4. So of course this shot gets absorbed by the tracks. Looks like my second one did as well, maybe it ricocheted. Third one goes high. Fourth one, well, someone gets the kill before me. So that's a little disconcerting. Well, not disconcerting, just annoying I should say. Played this whole game, fired a bunch of shots, and I've got one hit so far. So I see the BDR here. And I put some shots in, even though I know I'm not going to do any damage. Because, I don't know, I'm shooting at its tracks, it's the only thing I can hit. But here we see a KV-1, and it's giving me its side armour. So put one shot in, I aim for behind the rock, manage to put a second shot in, and well, I was aiming for the side of the KV-1 there, but the BDR got in the way, so I take a shot at the BDR, and it bounces. Get inside the KV-1, and it bounces. And it bounces again. Another bounce. I aim for the side of the turret, where it bounces. And again, another bounce, but someone gets the kill. So, I'm not entirely sure what to make of that, because I thought I could penetrate the side of the KV-1 pretty easily, and you saw my first two shots go straight through. And it was like the next 6 or so just bounced harmlessly. You know, I was going to go in and help kill the BDR, but then I see my entire team's swarming that guy. So instead I figure I'm going to move up onto the hill where I can provide fire support when my team gets around to killing the Panzer IV-A and the KV-1. The KV-1 hasn't been spotted, which I assume means it's camping the hill at the back. And the Panzer IVA is probably actually pulled back there as well, is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go up on the hill, hide in the bushes, and see if I can spot them for artillery. And if not, I'll just sit there and wait for the enemy to show up so I can have something to shoot at. So yeah, as you can see, it's not the fastest tank, but tank destroyers don't really have to be that fast. Well, unless you're playing them aggressively, but with no gun depression, I really don't think you're wise to. So anyway, I get here, and I pull up into these bushes. I think I'll make a good scouting position, but I see there's a big rock right in front of me. So I pull back, and I decide to try the bushes beside the next rock. These ones hopefully will be a bit better. So I pull up, take a look. My binoculars activate, but I don't detect anything. So I'm just going to speed things up a bit while my team arrive. They decided to play it properly and do bounding cover, so that essentially one of them would move up while the other two would sit still, and then another one would move up and the other two would sit still. And now the T-40 and the Wolverine are finally in a position where the KV-1 feels like it can move up and do its job. And of course the whole time I've just been sitting there going, hurry up, basically. Okay, the KV-1's just crested the hill and it's coming straight down the centre. After all of that manoeuvring, it's obviously not a very nuanced assault. And there's the enemy KV-1. First shot bounces and the KV-1 kills our KV-1. Second shot bounces. Third shot goes in through the upper front hull. Fourth shot misses and I switch to my premium ammo. I think of shooting at the Panzer IVA, but then it's a waste of premium shell. And again, we're kind of going through the weak spot of the upper front hull of KV-1. But they're still not doing much damage per shell. The premium ammo gets you more penetration, but not more damage. I've only got one shell left of premium, but it manages to go through. So I managed to get one kill from that game, which is still enough for an ace tanker. I only shot at 3 tanks, only did 709 damage, but 725 experience is enough for an ace tanker in this tank. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.